You know, when you think of a coconut, what comes to mind? Probably a tropical beach, right? It's like the ultimate symbol of paradise. But in the world of modern manufacturing, it's something else entirely. It's the raw material for a massive global industry. So today, we're going to dive in, because this isn't just about a fruit. It's about a multi-billion-dollar empire built on some seriously impressive engineering. That's right, $5 billion. That is the sheer scale we are talking about here. So we're going deep inside a state-of-the-art mega factory to see exactly how this tropical powerhouse gets transformed from a tough, fibrous shell into the stuff we see on store shelves every single day. So that really is the big question, isn't it? How does this natural, bumpy fruit become this perfectly consistent product you can buy anywhere in the world? Well, it's a journey of extreme automation, where nature meets some serious heavy machinery, and it all happens just hours after the harvest. Let's get into it. Okay, so the whole process kicks off with a massive logistical operation. We're talking thousands of tons of fresh coconuts arriving every single day from plantations. But before even one of them can hit the assembly line, the factory has to solve its first huge problem: everything that's on the outside of the coconut. And listen, this is way more than just washing off a bit of dirt. The integrity of the final product, especially that super pure coconut water, completely depends on stopping any contaminants from the outside from ever getting inside. This is where industrial scale hygiene becomes absolutely critical. The solution? Picture these immense, automated washing bays. We're talking high-pressure systems that scrub and sanitize every single nut that comes through. It's this relentless, powerful first step that basically sets the stage for everything else. Get this part wrong and the entire operation is a bust. So once the coconuts are squeaky clean, they come up against their next big opponent, that legendarily tough shell. This is the central engineering puzzle that the whole factory is designed to solve, and it has to do it at an unbelievable speed. I mean, seriously, think about it. If you've ever tried to open a coconut in your kitchen, you know it's a battle, right? It takes forever, a ton of effort, and maybe a few near misses with a hammer. Now just try to scale that up, like way up, 10,000 per hour. To hit a number like that, you need a lot more than a hammer. You need a full-on revolution in shelling technology. This number alone represents a level of precision engineering that is just wow. And here's how they pull it off. These incredible shelling machines use specialized rotating blades that are calibrated to perfectly strip away that tough outer husk. Then they crack the inner shell just enough to separate the white meat kernel, all without ever damaging the good stuff inside. It's like watching a three-step mechanical ballet. And here's what's so brilliant about it. Absolutely nothing is wasted. All those husks that get stripped away, they create this fibrous material called coir, which gets collected and repurposed for everything from high-end garden soil to industrial mats. In an operation this big, every single part of the raw material has to become a product. Okay, so the shell has been conquered. Now we get to the heart of the whole operation, extraction. And this brings up a totally new, complex challenge. How do you get two completely different things, the delicate, clear water and the rich, dense milk, out of the very same nut? Well, the answer is you need two completely different playbooks. For the water, it's all about precision and keeping it pure. For the milk, it's all about raw power and pressure. We're talking about two totally different engineering approaches for one single coconut. Let's break them down. First up, the water. This is where it gets really high-tech. Modern systems use these sterilized needles that pierce the nut and collect the water in a completely closed-loop system. This is so important because it prevents any exposure to air that could ruin it. That water is then instantly chilled and sent through this multi-stage filtration system that yanks out every last microscopic fiber, leaving behind that pure, electrolyte-rich drink. Now for the milk. The white meat that was separated earlier gets ground down into a fine pulp. Then it's fed into these massive, industrial-scale screw presses that exert thousands of pounds of force, literally squeezing out that thick, rich coconut milk. And by perfectly adjusting the pressure, the factory can make either light milk or heavy cream, all from the exact same pulp. So we've got our products, but before a single drop can get packaged, it has to get past the final and maybe toughest challenge, making sure every single can is safe, perfectly consistent, and ready for a global market. This is where the guardians of quality take over. And the secret weapon here is a technology called UHT. That stands for ultra-high temperature processing. The liquid is heated to over 275 degrees Fahrenheit for just a couple of seconds. This flash pasteurization sterilizes the product, which means it can stay fresh on a shelf for months without needing a single artificial preservative. It is an absolute game changer for distributing this stuff worldwide.
And this quality control never stops. It runs on a cycle that just repeats all day, every day. Every 30 minutes, boom, a new sample gets pulled off the line. It's tested for pH balance, for fat content, for purity. It's this constant checking that guarantees the millionth can is absolutely identical to the first.
So let's just step back and look at this whole thing. We've followed the coconut on this incredible journey, from just a simple tree in the tropics, through this gauntlet of amazing high-tech machinery, all the way to a finished product ready to be shipped anywhere on Earth. And really, that's the big takeaway here. This whole process is a true miracle of modern supply chain engineering. The next time you open a can of coconut milk or crack open a bottle of coconut water, just remember the incredible, powerful, and precise machinery that made it possible. It's the perfect blend of what nature gives us and what human innovation can do.
You know, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? That was the hidden industrial story of the coconut. So what everyday object, with its own secret life, are you curious to see us break down next?